Hello, welcome back to Box. This is Dumb Conversations. I am here with Root today, and we're going to be doing just whatever comes to our minds. Yeah, Root, you can introduce yourself.
Um, okay, so my name's Root. Um, not really much about me, but I just kind of like I just kind of wanted to be on this podcast. Thought it'd be fun. Not really that much unique stuff, but yeah, it's basically about me. No social media.
All right. So you just say you're average Joe.
Yeah.
I can respect that. So, just to start out, like, how's your day been? I heard it's still kind of early in the morning for some people.
Yeah, yeah. I actually had I slept in really long. I think I woke up at like 11.
You
School
know,
was
the
tiring.
the latest I've ever woke up was 2 p.m. Never doing that
Yeah,
again.
that's like for my summers. I just like wake up at 2 p.m. I feel like it.
Dude, over the summer, I absolutely obliterated my sleep schedule. Like, I found myself going to sleep at like 3 in the morning and waking up at like 4 p.m. It was horrible.
I used to go to bed at like 3 in the morning, and then I wake up at 2 p.m. and then I felt bad about it, so I lied to my friends saying like I was just like doing chores. I don't know what you guys are talking
Oh
about.
yeah, I was just doing chores really late into the night for some reason.
And then they see me like online, like on TikTok,
Dude,
and they'll be like,
okay.
"Bro, it said last online 3 in the morning. What were you doing?"
Uh, I left TikTok open.
It was just like my cat was like scrolling. So, anyways,
Yeah.
with school, but I think that kind of moves on. I have like really dumb like school rules.
What are some of them?
So basically, I think the most common one for everybody is no hoodies. Like
I
it's
don't,
just common sense.
I
I
don't
don't get
get
it.
that. Like,
They think we're gang members, but in reality, we're either like tired. I keep it on. I keep my hoodie on in the morning because like
by the way, one
I
sec. When they say hoodies, do they mean jackets or do they mean like the actual hoods?
they mean the actual hoods. They say take your hood
Okay.
off.
Like, bro, what do you think is gonna happen? Like, do you think just because? Oh, one second. Let me add some gain. One of my viewers just told me it's really quiet on your end. Default. No, that's the wrong thing. Filters, gain. Let me just pop that all the way up. All right, talk real quick.
Hello.
All right, that's a lot better. So basically, like on my end, I'm looking at OBS. Your audio is coming up like barely. Like OBS wasn't detecting much of anything. It's
Oh.
bad at that. Like I have the gain, both gains turned all the way up. Hey, Swiss, is it good now? Waiting for his response in the chat. Okay, we're gonna assume he died. Anyways, for our school, like they have a similar rule with that, like no hoods on the building. It's like, what do you think I'm gonna do? It's like, d am I that big of a threat if I have my hood on?
They think you like switch teams whenever you like put on the hood. They think you're like a like different persona. They just switch
Seriously.
you up and they think, put the hood down. We think you're dangerous. I don't get it. Like I don't get the explanation about it since we're like young like teens. Like what do you think we're gonna pull out? Like a rifle? Because I don't really
Like,
think
it,
we have the
it's
same.
like video games where someone just pulls a rifle out of their pocket. It's like, I can't even carry one of those. Like, what a hoodie pocket's not that big.
You can't even fit it in your like you can't fit it in your pants. It just like sticks out.
Seriously though, like, this just would make no sense. But
So, I mean, yeah, that's like a common one, but another one, I think they like strictly they're really strict on this. They like make it so you cannot go to the bathroom at all unless it's past your period. Like
oh my goodness, dude.
if
Our
you
school
come
has
like
something like
mid
that too.
class,
Our
like
school
when you
is
come up mid class, you have to like beg the teacher and they have to like they're like required to say no.
like you have to beg for mercy to be able to go.
Mhm.
Our school has something like that too, so it's called the 10-minute rule. So you can't go to the bathroom 10 minutes before class or like when you get in 10 minutes before the bell and 10 minutes after the bell. And it's so stupid because, like, so those teachers, they'll be going down to, like, the seconds on that. So it could be, like, 9 minutes and 45 seconds after the bell ring. They'll still say, no, you gotta wait 15 seconds. It's like, it's close enough, man. Like, and
15, 14. Wait, hold on.
13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, now can I go?
Yeah, 15, 14, 13, 12. All right, you can go now.
It's so dumb. Like, some of these teachers, they're too strict with the rules. I'm like, what do you think's gonna happen? Like, I'm not missing out on much. You barely teach me anything anyways. So
It's what is this like potty training? They think we're like still children and like, wait, hold it in, sweetie. All right, now you can go.
I just don't get it for some of these schools. But here's one of the rules that our school implemented. So we had to do one of these things, and you will be so surprised at how long this lasted. So it was a planner sheet. It's basically we had to write down our classes and what we did in those classes for the whole week. And mind you, we already have two systems that do this already, Canvas and the Focus website that we use. Two of these sites already do that for us, but they still have to do a paper version. It lasted 2 weeks before they got rid of it because no one was doing it. It was one of the dumbest rules we ever had.
So it like flew under the radar.
Not necessarily flew under the radar. No, kids made it very clear to the admins that they did not want to do it and they would not do it. And I'm pretty sure it was like a strike almost, and then they just said, yeah, no one's going to be doing this. We're just getting rid of it. So, I don't know.
Did they have to like pay for it on their end?
No, it was free. It was like printed out papers.
Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty dumb. But another one that I just don't really get is the self-defense rule. So, like, I can kind of understand why you wouldn't want it because kids could abuse it. But what you're teaching your kids there is that if you're getting, let's say, imagine this. You're in an alleyway. Someone comes up to you with a knife and attempts to rob you and begins stabbing you. What you're teaching them is just to sit there and deal with it. It's like, that's not going to make them stop. You're going to die.
Like, I don't really think they like made it clear about self-defense, but it's just kind of there for my school. So when you you get like it's really common for like fights. I don't know why.
Same.
I guess it's just like stupid, like because kids like to argue a lot about stupid things. And yeah, it usually ends up to like shoving.
Yeah.
When you get like smacked or like punched or shoved, what do? You just sit there
And
everyone
take
laughs
it?
at you, and then all the teacher comes over and says, "Don't fight. Don't fight. This isn't you. You can't do this."
It's like,
I'm supposed to like stand there like a good
It-
puppy? I don't
it's
want
like,
to.
you just expect me to take that? No. No, if you're going to slap me, that's called consequences for actions there. You're just not getting away with that, no.
You deserve it.
Like, there are some kids that I have watched them get suspended, even though they were in full rightness to do that. So we've got two kids. I'm gonna call them Billy and Bob. So Bob, this kid is so annoying in school. He is one of the top bullies in the school. Everyone hates him, including myself. Then we've got Billy. So Billy in the classroom. One day Bob just gets on his nerves. Billy slaps Bob so hard, like, so I'm just sitting in my chair. I just hear the loudest slap sound you've ever heard in your life from behind me. I turn around and see Bob staring at Billy with the look of just pure rage. And I can tell from this, there's about to be a fight. But guess what? Billy gets in trouble for some reason, even though Bob was the one that has started this since day one. And this man got suspended for like a month. Why?
Why?
Like, that dude fully deserved that slap. Like, for all I care, he should have been slapped harder. It's like, I do not like him, and guess what? Bob barely got he got suspended for 3 days.
Only 3 days?
Yeah, even though he has bullied so many other kids. And that was Billy's first time ever trying to fight back.
Wow.
Our school has some screwed up systems.
I mean, I can try thinking of some. I'm pretty sure those are like the basic three, unless I have like not get in trouble by one of them stupid rules. I don't really know other ones.
I really don't pay attention to many of them. Oh yeah, here's one. So you know how the cafeteria is usually pretty loud, right?
Hmm.
They hate it when you get loud, but then again, they're the ones that make the cafeteria a huge reverberating room. It's like if you don't want it loud, install noise dampers.
Oh yeah. Oh
Like
yeah, that reminds me. So they they put I think around 300 kids. I think 120 per grade. And they put them in this huge room, obviously called the cafeteria. And now they're like, quiet down, quiet down. What do you expect?
they're
What are you thinking
kids.
when you put 120 kids in one big room, and obviously that room's gonna echo or whatever happens to make it louder. What it's not they're not gonna magically be like, yes, teacher, we will stop talking about what we are interested in.
Oh yeah, and then okay. So you know how the teachers always say, "I'll wait" whenever you're talking.
Yeah.
One of the things that I okay, so one of these kids in my class, they had the I love what they said after this. So a ton of kids are talking. Teacher said, "I'll wait." The kid said, "Oh, thanks." Anyways, continue to talk. This teacher got so mad at him. It was hilarious. It's like, well, what do you expect us to say? If you're gonna wait, thanks. It just lets
That's
us get our talking out.
stupid. It's because when you, okay, when they say, I'll wait, and then they don't wait for you, it's okay. No, they're insisting that they'll wait. They're like, okay, I'll wait for you. And they're like, okay, thank you. And so then they just start talking again, and they get mad at them. Why are you getting mad at them if you're the one that insisted on waiting?
That's just redundancy. It's like,
It's
don't
such a
say you're gonna
stupid, like,
wait.
method.
Like, don't say you're gonna wait if you're not gonna wait. Like, have you ever heard of the saying, I mean what I say and say what I mean? You obviously don't know what that means then. Because if you, like, some of these teachers, they have some really weird rules. Like, we had this one teacher, she gets mad about everything. So let me tell you a story. So I was in her class, and she was telling me some of these things. I was making a very, very tiny deal about it. And she told me to calm down when she is the one that makes a huge deal about little problems. Like some kids, they'll be doing barely anything. She yells at them. It's like you're acting like they're killing someone. It's, it's not that big of a deal. And you're telling me to calm down? No, 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 no. I think you need to calm down. Seriously, I do not like that teacher at all. I do not like going to her class
There
because
always has to be that one teacher that you just dearly hate so much from the
I know
bottom of your heart.
there was one school year where I got the best teacher. It was fifth grade. That was the only school year where I got a teacher that I actually liked. It's like the only year. Every
Never
other
met
teacher I hated.
like a teacher that I mean I only have like had one to start a middle school. That was about it. It's like a one-time limited like coupon. You get it,
Seriously.
and then you redeemed it that year. Now you can't get it back. It was a one-time thing.
Yeah, you had your fun. Welcome to
They
real
on the
life.
resume they're like, "Are you very strict? And are you rude towards children?" And then
Do
they're
you-
immediately hired if they say yes.
okay, interview. Okay, welcome, Miss Teacher. So, first question: do you hate children? Yes, you're hired. If you hate children, don't get into a job with children.
I feel like it's like some sort of career path. Because I
Seriously.
know like some or not some teachers, they like joke around. I remember one time, um, I think it was when I was younger. I don't remember, but I remember vividly someone saying, "I want to be a teacher," and then the teacher immediately said, "No, you do not." It's like they were forced to do it because they don't have like they probably their parents were like, "Okay, sweetie, you're gonna be a teacher when you grow up," and like, "Mom, I don't want to be a teacher."
You're
I
gonna be a
want.
teacher. Force be a teacher.
And
But
so they're trying to save the children, saying, "No, no, you don't want to be a teacher."
Actually, look at the pay of teachers. They need to get paid more for some of the students they deal with, honestly. Because, like, while teachers can be annoying, I still respect them because, they're adults you're kind of
I kind of
obligated
see
to.
what they mean when they come from like strictness and policy. I kind of see what they mean from probably previous students. They're just kind of tired of it, so they kind of take it out on other students.
That's
I get
fair.
it, but if you're becoming a teacher, you have to like learn to like overcome like that aspect. You have to control your anger towards that children and not and take it on everybody else. Just unfair.
Yeah, like, don't release your anger on people. Actually, release it in a controlled manner. Like, there's anger management classes. They're not that expensive.
It's not embarrassing.
Like, we get it. It's emotions. Everyone has those. Even though you may think differently, everyone has emotions. But it doesn't mean you have permission to just go off on people like that. It's not how that works. If you go off on people like that, that's not going to end well. Trust me, it doesn't end well when you do that because, see, there's this thing called real life, in where your entitledness does not earn you free passage into anything.
That
Okay, can
that
we agree?
reminds me.
Yeah.
That reminds me of one teacher saying that um what's it called again? Oh yeah, they said deal with it, life's unfair to some student that was doing their work and then they talked to their friend once. And I think it's because one student like threw like a desk and so they just took it out on someone else. Life's unfair. Why are you making it unfair for the children?
Like,
That's
y-
just like serial killer like mindset.
like, I get it. If they're talking, you don't just say, life's unfair, shut up. You don't do that. No. You tell them politely, hey, you're supposed to be working, can you please be quiet? You'll have your chance to talk later. It's like, it makes no sense to me. Like, some of these things, it's very weird. But, uh, oh yeah. So, the kids in, like, some schools where, like, they'll act so entitled, like they own the world or something?
Yeah, and I think they can just push you around.
So we had this one girl in our class, and she thought the world revolved around her. Like, she was so entitled. So we're in the locker rooms. She needs to be first in everything. Like, she just has to be first in everything. Align first. Whatever conversation you're doing, I have the first input. It's like so annoying. So we're in the locker rooms. There is a very clear crowd of people, and everyone just likes being passive aggressive to her because she needs to understand it. So she's saying, "Get out of my way, I need to be in front," it's that kind of stuff. She shoves everyone out of the way and pushes me. I'm like, and she's threatening to punch me. I'm like, girl, you're about a foot shorter than me. I can just smack you across the head and you'll walk away.
Topple over them.
Like, seriously. Like, she is, no joke, she's like a foot shorter than me and she's threatening me. I'm like, this is gonna about to be a Looney Tunes for. This is about to be a Looney Tunes fight.
There's the short people too. The tall people have like humble attitudes. Short people have like those like aggressive. It's like dog. It goes the same with dogs too. Like those small
Like,
dogs, they always bark at you, and
they
then the
act
big
so
dogs, they
tough.
just like yeah.
Like, the tiny dogs, they always act so tough. The tiny people, they always act so tough. And it's like, you're. Listen, it's called truth, and if you can't handle it, that's your own problem, but you're not tough. It's like, I know my limits, and it's like, I get it, I'm not tough, but you can't be talking to me like that.
Something wrong with the parents too. They can't discipline their children for speaking out that way. It's just not fair for other people who
And
think.
then you see, like, some of these kids, karma's just not doing their job in it. It's like, they're doing all these wrong things. You're waiting for karma to take their chance at them. It never does. And then some other kid finally shows karma towards the person.
But then
And
they start crying.
it's,
It's like, why me? What did I do?
what did you do? Would you like me to go get the list? Would you like me to go get the list? Because I can read this whole thing off to you if you're willing to
I
sit
have
here
a
for about an
whole
hour.
receipt. I have a whole receipt of diary about what you did. And then
Holy.
if you actually went that far and like showed them one, then it'll be like, that's fake. I never did that. They'll try to do everything to clear off the list.
Talk about hard-headedness. It's like, you did this and you know it, so stop trying to deny it. like we also have like a couple other kids in our school. They just don't seem to understand that life does not revolve around you, and it's going to hit you hard when you get into like college or something. Just see, you can act the way you want in middle school and high school and stuff. Like no one's gonna really do anything about that. But when you get into real life, you're gonna have a very rude awakening.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of contradicts against life is fair or life is unfair. Like, you shouldn't be saying that to children, but there is one point where you can say that to people. I mean, it comes like around the end of high school. You can't really be entitled anymore. You're not like
The
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 person.
world doesn't revolve around you. You're not the center of attention, all right?
Trust me, there are people more attention or that have more attention than you, but they don't seek for it. You're just gonna have to accept that you're not gonna be the best.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, okay, you can live with that. You're not gonna die just because, like, oh, no one likes me anymore. Like, no one gives me attention 24/7. It's like,
Stop acting like a baby and just be nice to people. Like,
seriously.
it's not nice being overconfident. Oh, I'm your leader. You should listen to me.
It's like, oh, I'm the best. It's like, you're not, okay? You're pure opposite of the best. And uh, in some of these schools, like they need to start teaching that now to some of those kids. Like, you're gonna need to change your ways very quickly. This stuff is not gonna go good for you if you don't. And
You just have to accept it.
on the topic of school, uh, so you know the school subjects and how some people think that like some of them aren't really that important.
Hmm.
Like this main one that I have that always seems to bug me is the specifically history classes. Like I understand history classes, like I understand why you would implement them, but why would I ever want to learn like how the world was made? I'm here, I get a job, I do my life. Like I don't care about what came to be of this world. Like I don't care what happened back in 2500 BC. But have you heard of the term "let the past be the past"?
Yeah.
Like, why don't schools just do that?
Yeah, and then the teachers target you for the past. They'll be like, you. I remember that one time in when you're in preschool, you knocked over the toy. Yeah. And then you do like another small thing. Yeah, that's like the topic of like teachers targeting you. You do something bad once, and now you're the center of attention of like the teacher lounge.
Seriously, like they'll just be talking all about you behind your back. You're just like, ooh,
It's
so and
some
so did this back in this grade. Like, why do you care so much about what happened in the past? It's
mind
the
your
future
business.
now.
How about you be more equal? Like, I get that if you do actions that are bad, that you need to, and you keep doing it, you need to be punished more and more. But when you involve like my personality or like actual like character itself into the discipline, like when you have to reference, it's this guy, I know that guy. You could just stop. Like, you can give me like a like better punish or like a harsher punishment, but you don't need to revolve it around like
You don't need to shove it in my face. Like, I get it.
exact. Just give it
like,
to me and go. Just give me the punishment and go.
like, trust me, I will. Like, when it comes between getting a slap across the face or getting something that I did several years ago that I feel guilty of shoved in my face, I'll take the slap. Like, just get it over with already. You don't need to, like, literally rub salt in the wounds here. It's pointless. But
It's like the one it's a common thing for it to happen, but it's happened to many people. So when you're like talking with your friends in class, you get in trouble. And then for some people, if they gotten in trouble like before and then they talk, they get like a harsher punishment just because the teacher doesn't like them. Like they're their D1 hater.
like, that's
They
just
hate them
called
really
being
bad.
biased.
Yeah. And it's not even equal. Like you don't just give them the hardest punishment when they do it a second time. You give them like a medium punishment. They only do that when they like actually hate them so much.
That's the one part I don't get. It's like, if just because they've done stuff in the past doesn't mean you need to like immediately suspend them.
Yeah, reference it like a text.
Yeah.
Remember that one time? Yeah, you're gonna get in a bigger trouble, mister.
It's like, oh, cool. Do you want me to report that to HR?
Want me to, you wanna rub in my face again?
Yeah, like, please do more. It's like, ugh.
Taunting you, and then you can't do anything, or you get in more trouble. And the thing is, the teachers. I've never seen a teacher except one that's gotten in trouble for being biased,
Ooh.
because they're always acting like it's the right thing to do. They were supposed to be disciplined that way.
Yeah, newsflash for you. This new generation of kids does not take that lightly. And I can tell you that from experience. They do not take certain types of punishment very lightly, and they will make it all your problem if you try and do it. So, teachers, you might want to change your discipline ways. Because,
Act like calm about it. Don't go like, haha, I'm gonna give you another detention for talking back.
it's like,
Yeah, and
don't.
that's stupid too. What they reference or like what they consider talking back is stupid. When I'm saying, I ask them, hey, what did I do whenever I get in trouble? And they're like, that's immediately talking back. You're getting
It's
a
like,
detention.
ma'am, you are required to tell me what I did wrong before I even think about leaving this class.
I'm not above the law. I'm supposed to know. You can't just give me a ghost slip of like office referral and say,
Like, usually, those office rules, they have a slot for the reason, and sometimes they don't even write anything in there.
yeah, they don't write anything. They just or there's like a checkbox that has like common like things. So there's usually like a common like they put like common
Things
yeah, common things
like
like
disrupted
talking back.
class
Yeah, disrupted class.
and so on. It's like, but then they
And then
won't check anything of that.
yeah, no, they would check it off. They just don't like. There's also a box for explain in detail, and then they just like don't fill it in at all.
But yeah,
Can I like know more at least?
okay. So on the topic of talking back, one of my most hated phrases now is "cause I said so." It's like, what
Oh my
does that mean?
god.
Okay, listen. If you're gonna tell me to do something, trust me, I'll do it by all means. It's just you gotta tell me the reason why I should do it. Because if you're telling me, hey, go walk over there, why? What's the purpose of walking over there? What am I getting out of this? It's like, no, not because you said so. I'm asking for a legitimate reason. So you're acting like a fifth grader here. It's like, why?
Yeah, they're not above. They're like I feel like those are the type of like teachers where they grew up as thinking that they were either bullied a lot or they were just like told that they were like not above everyone else because I said so. That's not valid. That's actually that you should get in trouble for even saying that. That's just unfair.
Yeah, like, just because you said it doesn't mean it means anything. It's like I could say, hey, go pick up that item. For all I know, that for all the other person knows, that item could be a trap, or it could just be a thing that I'm telling you to pick up. So they ask, why? Why should I do this? Is it safe? Should I know anything about this? Like, those are legitimate questions that you should answer with legitimate answers.
Yeah, because I said go pick it up because why? I'm not gonna say because I said so. I'm gonna say because it's garbage and that it's just like you're just leaving garbage around.
Like, then there's those kids that just trash the classrooms for no reason. It's like they'll just leave everything everywhere, not even try and clean it up.
Oh wait, that reminded me. So, in the cafeteria, there could be some garbage left behind by younger grades because we get like separate
And then they'll make it your problem.
yeah, the trash they leave, when we're done with our lunch, teacher comes over to us like those stupid lunch advisors. They'll be like, pick up that trash, but it wasn't mine. I don't care, pick it up.
It's
Why
like,
didn't you tell that to the kids that were before me? You aren't doing
and
your job.
and then they'll just sit there in silence for a second because you just hit them with something they can't respond to with their basic phrases.
As I said so.
And it's like, and then they'll just say it again, pick it up after like a long pause. I'm like, that's not my trash, not my problem. I'm gonna leave now.
Yeah, and then you get in trouble for not I got in trouble once because there was like there's paper plates on the ground. Um and I was just eating my lunch. The teacher says, "Pick it up." But I didn't eat that lunch cuz there's certain lunches with certain trays. And so it can like show you what type of food that person ate. I brought a home lunch. So I didn't buy anything. That proves it's not my trash. And I'd be like, I don't care. Pick it up. I'm like, no, I'm not picking it up. That's not my problem. And then they'll be like, all right, come sit outside the lunchroom because they have like a seat where they're like,
Hey,
it's
if you,
considered like this is your punishment. You'll be sitting
it's like
outside.
if I'm sitting outside the lunchroom, that just makes it less of my problem. So thanks. And plus, I get to leave quicker anyways and get to my next class. So you're doing
No,
me a
for
solid.
me, for me, they keep me after the lunch period, and then they like say, "Okay, sweetie, so when I ask you to do it, you do it.
Yeah,
You won't
that's
have to
not
hold
how
anything back."
life works. Newsflash for you, that's not how life works. If you tell someone to do something, it doesn't mean they're like required to do it. It's called free will. And we live in an area where free will is
I
a
get it. I get it. That it's like schools have rules where they're like, it's not no longer free will. This is you paid for school. This is the rules you have to abide by. I get it, but do schools really have to restrict that much of like freedom? Like you could talk however you want IRL to some people unless it's like offensive or
like
disrupting people.
yeah. Like I understand that if it's rude, then don't say that.
But if I say I don't like this teacher and then I get in trouble for saying that I don't like that teacher, that's just stupid. I can say
That's
whatever I want.
opinions. Like that's my opinion. You're
And they always restrict the stupid rules too, like the hoodies, like we said earlier.
I don't get it. Like, you think just because I put my hood on, I'm like, ooh, he's dangerous. Ooh, he's an intruder. It's like, you just saw me walk through the hallway. Is your memory that bad? Like, you just saw me walk through the hallway without a hood. Now you're panicking over me wearing a hood. It's like, I don't
Some
get
of
it.
these teachers need to see
My internet.
the real world where there's all like disgusting trash like cities. They need to see that because then they can't just go up to people and be like, pick up that trash. Why? Because
Like,
I said
if
so. They get like a beating for that.
like dude, if you walk like if some random dude walks up to me and there's like, hey, pick that up, I'm like, no, that's not my problem. They're like, no, it is. Pick it up. Why? Because I said so.
Just walk
Yeah, I'm
away.
not wasting my time with you. And it's like, hey, you can't walk away from it. I was like, well, look at me go. It's like I'm walking away from you right now. What are you gonna do about it? So I don't get it. Like they think these are the things that happen in real life when in reality it is very, very, very different. And they're setting their kids up for just straight failure. Because if you tell a kid, hey, if you just tell someone to stop, they're going to stop. No. Like, if you're getting beat up, you're gonna say, hey, that hurts. Can you please stop? The kid's not gonna say, oh, sorry, let's be friends. No, they're gonna keep beating you up. That's not how that works. But, anyways, so I did have another topic. So, you know how New Year's is coming up, right?
Hmm.
What did you plan to do for New Year's? Like, what do you plan to do for the next year?
That's the question. Like everyone like says to do, or like whatever they ask you whenever like they're trying to start a topic, for like school. They usually have like
What's
I
your
don't
New
know,
Year
like
resolution?
New Year's resolutions exactly, and then they make like a whole like activity for it. I've never really planned ahead because I know I'm just a kid, so
It's like,
I'm not really gonna be looking that forward. My New Year's goals I don't really like strictly limit myself to them. I don't really have that much important
Like,
goals. I think the most common one, I'll just like, if someone ever asks me that, I'll just say to get good grades because I really don't know what to talk about it. I
it's like
mean,
I'm not
there,
gonna be unrealistic about it either. It's like I'm not gonna say to do this, that, and this and that. Like I know for a fact that's not gonna happen, so I'm not gonna write that. But then they get mad at me when I only write like 3 words. It's like get more sleep. It's like no, you have to write a whole paragraph about it.
be more original.
It's like I'm not gonna be unrealistic with myself. That's just lying straight to my face. Trust
Yeah,
me.
so
Enough
I'm
teachers have
being
already done that.
realistic. I'm being realistic when I say good grades. I think everyone wants good grades. I just don't know what to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, I do have mechanical and like engineering school. That's like a general thing. Basically, just get like past that. You know, I could probably work towards something. I don't really like to think ahead because I don't know. Every time I think ahead, I always think back of like nostalgia of like anything where there was like no homework. I
Yeah.
don't know. It just feels like a big transition.
Oh yeah.
I think that, and then it's like, damn, oh my.
I heard you say homework, and that reminded me. So homework is one of the things that I just don't get. It's like we have school for a reason. It's to work, yeah? Home is a place to relax, not to do more work. And then they wonder why we come to school sleep deprived. It's like, well, sorry, Miss Teacher, I was working on your assignment that you assigned me until like 4 a.m.
Yeah, and then they like yell at you, say, my teacher, like strict teachers, it's never the nice teachers. They always complain, you need to manage your time. That's not my problem. I used to have so like during my soccer season, because I play like professional soccer.
Mm.
Whenever I go to practices, they always they always like say when I ever say sorry, I couldn't do my homework. I was at my practice and I was tired. They'll be like, "That's not my fault. You
It's
gotta
like,
manage your own
I
time."
never said it was your problem. I'm just telling you that's my reason for why this thing is unfinished. And second off, you probably shouldn't assign like a 3-page assignment for home.
Do the next day too.
Yeah, like
They're never realistic with their lengths of time.
okay, so our school says that so specifically this teacher, she's always like, "Oh, we give you plenty of time to do your work." You really don't, because you take like 30 minutes of the class to talk about random stuff that we don't care about, and then you only give us like 15 minutes to work. It's like, we can't do this assignment in 15 minutes.
15
Yes, you
minutes.
can.
I hate when teachers intentionally give you homework at last second. So whenever like you exit the class, they're always saying, "Oh yeah, don't forget to do this 3-page math
Essay.
for homework." Um, I would just kind of argue saying, "Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you," or "Sorry, you didn't send an email." Yeah, and then they always, whenever I send them email, they don't respond until the day after.
And then they're like, hey, why didn't you have this resource? I was like, I was waiting for you to respond.
And then they always say it's email adequate that you don't blame teachers for their problem. But like, how is it my fault then?
Like, oh yeah, because you're a student. Everything's your fault. What? No.
You're a child. You need to learn.
No. No, 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 no. No. If it's the teacher's problem, it's not my problem. And I'm not sure why people don't seem to understand that.
They just dump it on you, saying, "Oh, sorry, it's all your work."
It's,
And then they complain, saying, "Guy, you attack me, yet I have to do all this work and grade all these assignments." But that's what you're hired for.
it's like
Stop putting it on me.
you got this job. You knew what you were walking into. I didn't want to come here. I am here involuntarily. So you can't get mad at me when I don't do something that I've never wanted to do. Like, I don't want to be here, but you got this job. You are obligated to be here because you saw the contract. You saw what you were putting yourself into. So don't get mad at me when your life sucks. Then there's other teachers. So our school has this thing where basically they said there's no homework. they said there's no homework, but there still is because, according to the school, everything that you don't do in class is now homework. But these teachers, they'll be assigning us stuff like 2 minutes before the bell rings and expect us to complete it and then use it as an excuse to give us homework. At that point, just give us normal homework if you're not gonna give us enough time to finish it.
Don't give us an essay. Just give me like one small worksheet. I'll do it.
Oh yeah, on the topic of essay. So our school started, and then within the first week, no joke, the first week, there was already a 3-page book essay that we had to do. And we had to.
Usually that's like for like summer reading because we always have to read like a novel.
Oh,
But
our school doesn't do
don't-
that summer
I
stuff.
don't understand why on the first day. I remember as a child, you always on the first day you did like fun activities, and now as you grow up, you have to do like, all right, welcome to the first day of school. So now we are going to be doing a 3-page essay analysis on the summary of our summer reading novel. So everyone pull out your books and start writing. I don't know what
It's
to
like,
tell you.
Well, gee, sorry, because I threw that book away. That book was boring, okay? It's like,
The books always be like boring too, and then I
It's
lose
like-
motivation while I'm like halfway in.
some of these teachers, they wonder why like their kids have no motivation for reading the book. It's probably because you're assigning things that don't go along with their taste. And if you want kids to have motivation when reading the book, you're dealing with teens, right? You need to give teens the books that teens like. So why don't they do that? No, I don't want to read this book about World War One and its history. No, I want an actual interesting book. And I know I'm saying this and it's falling on deaf ears because teachers will never seem to understand it, but I might as well say it anyways. We don't like the books that they recommend, and we never will.
There are some, I think the classics, but classics, I'm pretty sure some people know them, like The Outsiders. I don't. They're just they assign classic novels like commonly known, and then after all of them is like freshly been juiced, all of those fresh novels, they immediately switch to some like back end novel. It's always like New York's best-selling author from
Like-
like back streets.
Then it's about some very boring topic that no one cares about. And it's like, I don't want to read this. No, you have to. It's for 100 points. Okay. You think I care about points? Yeah, they're your grade. All a grade is just a number that decides your quote unquote success in life.
Someone was walking through nature on like beautiful hills, like Earth. They were exploring the beauty, and then they said, "Yeah, grades determine life." I get that some people in different areas of the world, they don't have school and they probably work for their family. You know, honestly, I'd rather do that and be poor than be like working my ass off for doing just grades that determine my whole path of life. When was there freedom for what you did in school? Because you're kind of like obliged to doing school unless you want to like break the law, do illegal stuff.
Because,
And
see, that's the thing about school.
Once you get an adult, you can do what you want. You can
I'm
do
making-
more freedom. And
I'm
then
making it
you
seem like
realize you wasted your whole childhood. You
Like-
can't really run away. You're kind of born there. You don't have anything to do. And so, yeah, right when you turn an adult, you're just
You
kinda
realize that, like,
damn.
school is telling you complete lies to your face. They're saying, like, oh no, you need to do all of this stuff to be able to be a successful adult. It's like, then explain.
Pythagorean theorem. When are we ever gonna use math?
Okay,
stuff?
that's some of the things in math. Like, so some of the math teachers will be saying, like, oh, you won't have a calculator in your pocket all day. It's like, well, what's a phone? Like, I get it. Some
Phones are
kids
not
can't
accurate. Phones aren't accurate. You also don't have
It
a
is-
graphics calculator.
a graphics calculator. When am I ever gonna need to graph something? Because
Hold on,
just
let me find the correlation between.
yes, one moment. Let me find the square root of pi times x to the power of 5 real quick. It's like, I don't need to know that. Like, I get it. It's part of the academic stuff, and I understand that you're required to teach it, but if we don't care about it, then don't shove it in our face and be like, oh, you have to care about this. You have to worry about this because it's going to decide your life. And no.
Gonna help you learn a job. But what if I do a job that doesn't require? Let's say they'll hire anyone for McDonald's.
Like, people
They're gonna
trash them.
ask you on the resume, do
Dude,
you know the theorem or like the theory of
please
square
solve this
root?
extremely complex math equation. It's like, no. Like, people trash McDonald's a lot because they accept anyone. It's like, they pay really well. Like, here, I can get here, let me get the paying price of McDonald's real quick. Let's see. Hourly wage in McDonald's average. Okay, so people trash McDonald's a lot, but they actually pay pretty well. The average pay for McDonald's in the United States is $12.80 an hour.
Everyone
That's
starts
not that
somewhere.
bad.
Yeah,
It,
that's exactly why you won't need those math problems for work. I get it that it has like a bad reputation for working at McDonald's, but seriously, everyone starts somewhere, and you'll laugh in teachers' faces when you get a job that doesn't say, "Do you know this theory?"
do you know the thing? It's like, no, I don't care about that. Just give me the job. I won't need that. And like, they're acting like you're gonna get stuck in some low-paying job, and then you end up getting a really well-paying job for doing basically nothing. It's like, have you never heard of this thing called what's it? It's you getting money off of like technology because there. Let's see, I can name off a couple. There's online marketplaces, Bitcoin, crypto mining. And those are all like pastime stuff that don't require anything. Like you can go onto like a couple of marketplaces, you can make a product, and then they'll take care of everything else, and you can just sit there having money just kind of accumulate if people decide to buy your stuff. And they're acting like that's a bad thing. It's like, well, joke's on you. I've made like $600 in a day, and I don't see you doing that. So makes no sense to me. They're acting like stuff is going to control your life if you don't do really well in certain subjects, when in reality, you don't need those subjects for the job that you're doing. Like science. Science is one of the areas where it's just a grade point. Can you agree? Like, science doesn't really mean anything to me, at least.
I'm really bad at science. I can see kind of why, because you kind of need like a general knowledge of how Earth scientifically works, but we don't need all this advanced stuff.
Like, if I'm
Like I kind of
getting
get it, but I kind of don't. It's not the same level as math though. Math, you like definitely don't need
math,
all of it.
like math and ELA, those are the two ones that I fully understand why you would need it. But math, I see that only going up to like a point. Because like we get to that one point in math where it's like, what is x times 5x multiplied by 236y to the power of 5? It's like, I don't think I'm gonna ever use that. Like I understand finding variables, like I understand that like x plus something equals something. I understand that. Because sometimes there are problems where you have one thing times another thing, but you don't know what the original thing was. So you need to figure that out. That I understand, right? Because that's actually important. But then we get to the other side of those subjects where it's just useless information. In science, I don't really need to learn that unless I'm becoming a scientist or anything that has to do with it. Like, I understand it if you're telling them, hey, so if you mix these two chemicals, kaboom, not good. But it makes very little sense to me. So, what jobs do you plan to get with your engineering stuff? Because I heard you talk about it.
Um, I kind of see why you need math for engineering. I'll learn math if it helps me with engineering, but it's just kind of a career start because I know I don't really want I mean, I'm probably gonna have to start somewhere working as like a waiter, but
Hey, those jobs pay really well.
after that, I want to start something that's actually, you could tell someone without being embarrassed.
Yeah, like people might
It
laugh at you
might
for
it
saying
might
like,
not be a little it might be a little embarrassing, not fully telling someone that you work a waiter. Like I said, everyone starts somewhere, but you know, I just want to start somewhere with engineering school. Get an engineering job.
yeah. I mean, those jobs do pay like super well though. Like you get some good cash out of that stuff. So I'd recommend trying to get one of those jobs. For myself, I'm trying to find one in like food services. Because I heard like Jack Stack and Longhorn pay really well. So I might try and get a job down there. Uh, I also hear like there's some fast food restaurants near here, or at least where I generally live, that also pay decently well as well. I feel like America just it has an abundance of jobs, but they don't pay good enough for people to want to get them, right?
I don't really mean to get political, and maybe politics could affect your pay.
Yeah, like
Uh,
taxes and stuff.
but basically, the more hardworking, unless you go like a weird route, some back street like
Yeah.
drug taking or like weird adult
If you
stuff.
get into the illegal side of things, or just downright strange side, I'm gonna keep my distance from you. But if you're just an average fast food worker, then you're making good pay. Like, I'm not sure why people would down on you like that. And speaking of fast food, we've all heard of the saying, Karen. And I don't understand it. Like, why are you getting mad at this poor teenager working at a fast food company when they're just trying to do their job and you're the one making a huge deal about it? It's like, they're just trying to do their job. It's not their problem if the food comes out wrong. They're just the one that sends the order in. They're not the cook.
I mean, I think the only time that Karens are right is if like someone's like playing a joke on them that's like really annoying. But the only time that's like the only time they're right. Every else like they're wrong. You don't need to attack some poor high school student who's just trying to start life for messing up your order because they could have had personal issues probably with sleep, family. You don't know, and you come in their life and make it harder for them. You think that's just like appropriate to make their life hell?
Yeah, I don't get it, honestly. It's like, I get it if you have like anger issues, but like I said earlier, there's anger management classes and they don't cost that much. Trust me. Here, actually, we have Google, we have technology. Oh yeah, here's another thing while I'm looking this up. So, all right, I can't type and talk at the same time. So, how teachers are always trying to get you to write on paper stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Do they not realize that in like the next couple of years, maybe 5, 10 years, almost anything's going to be digitized? And like, I get it why it's important to be able to write on paper, but technology has advanced so far, and people still refuse to believe.
As long
It's
as
like,
you know how to spell, and as long as you've got, your cursive handwriting skills from third grade, you're pretty much set. I don't get why people judge you based on your handwriting. As long as it's negligible, you can, or like as long as you can read it, you can. It's fine. I don't really care how your handwriting is, even if you're an adult.
if your handwriting's really good, then good for you. If your handwriting sucks, hey, same
Just
here.
just switch to digital. You know,
It's
you
like,
have you got the skills to keep it. I'm pretty sure your brain will think of it as really important, so it won't go away.
yeah, I can write. Trust me, I can write on a piece of paper. It's just not the best because I'm quite literally made for office work. So, and like office works, I get it why there's paper involved in there. It's for physical properties, but a printer doesn't cost like a stupid amount. Like if you have a decent income, you can buy a decent printer, black and white printer for like $100, and all you have to do is hook it up to the internet and you're good. Just hardwired your computer. You're like, people make it seem like printing on paper is a luxury sometimes, and it's not really. I get it if you can't afford that. If you have like a really hard income, then I get that. But then don't get mad when you can't write. All right, I'm running out of ideas. But do you have anything else you want to talk about?
You haven't I mean, I could try thinking of some.
Because if not, this thing's been going on for about an hour ish, which is usually where I call these off. So yeah, if you don't have anything else to say, I'm pretty much out of ideas. I think we're just going to end that.
Yeah, I'm pretty much out of ideas too.
All right. See you. Say goodbye.
See ya.
Yeah, thank you for watching Box. That has been Root and myself. If you would like to apply, our applications will be open about 5 minutes after I post this. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. We may or may not see Root again if he decides to come back. And you guys have to tell me in the comments if you liked him or not. Because if you did like him, then I'll definitely try and bring him back into one of these other podcasts. If y'all didn't like him, tough luck, because he's probably going to come back anyways. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, Bucks. Your handwriting is horrible. Yes, I know it is horrible, Swiss. We literally go to the same school. I know it's horrible. But, well, I'm made for officer. I'm not made for, like, paper stuff. Y'all should see Swiss's handwriting, honestly. Like, his handwriting's good. I've seen his. But,
It's exquisite.
I wouldn't say exquisite. It's average. It's actually kind of fancy almost. Like, I like his handwriting. His is way better than mine though, because I write with pens a lot. His pencils break too much for me, at least. So, like, whenever I'm writing with a pen, you know how pens slide a lot on the paper? That always happens to me. And it's very annoying. So then I'll get just these weird connected words. People think, oh, you know cursive? I'm like, no, this is mistaken. It's not supposed to be in cursive. So it's...
Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna put this on the stream. Can I just copy and paste? I can't. Dang it. All right, 1 second. Okay, so I need to download something real quick. So, I did this thing. So me and a friend of mine, we were sending just random car photos, just weird car photos between each other on Discord. And I told him when he was going to bed that I'm gonna bring you a sheet of paper with just a ton of car photos. And I gave it to him. Then that guy gave it to that guy that I gave it to gave it to one of my other friends. And he just sent me a photo. Apparently, he still has it, and that's kind of funny, honestly. Here, I'm putting it in the stream right now, if I can get the size lined up. He still has it. He just sent me a freaking photo of it. I think that's funny, honestly, that he kept it. And I printed this off at like 9 p.m. I didn't actually expect him to keep it.
Wait, when did you say this was from again?
This was like a month ago almost, and I'm surprised he still has it. But that's crazy, honestly. That man actually went through the process of keeping it.
It's like finding something, or like that's like finding something you used to like, or like a diary that you used to have when you were really young, and just like finding old writings of yourself.
It's interesting. I'm surprised you just like Swiss. Please just put that. I'm gonna probably put that in the archive at some point, but we need to hold on to that as long as we can. Do not let that. Do not lose it. We'll come after you if you lose that. Yeah. If we don't have anything else to talk about, then I'm probably gonna end the stream. That was kind of like a false ending. Oh, of course, the second I try and end the stream, we now have 2 concurrent viewers instead of 1. But all right. Anyways, yeah. If that's it, then I'm gonna go ahead and pop it off. So, yeah. Do we have anything else to talk about?
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you for watching Box. If you want more content like this, feel free to subscribe. Tell me if you like Root in the comments. Frankly, I don't care if you like him or not, because he's going to come back. So, thank you for watching. Remember, eat, drink, and sleep. And don't die. Thank you for watching.